The following program is a real estate and mortgage show and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and listeners. Good evening and welcome to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts Randy, Jackie, and Anthony right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board, send us an email. Our email address is yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. And now, right to your hosts of Your Home, Your Money, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Thanks for being with us again. Well, these two over here quibble about something. What a pen, I
We're
think.
fighting over the pen because I didn't bring a pen in.
She doesn't.
So he wants a pen, and
Well, I
yeah.
had some notes that I wanted
And
to
I'm
do.
never really prepared, so, because,
Because you just don't care about.
because I made dinner for you. So when you go home, you have dinner. No appreciation here whatsoever.
I wouldn't say that. I appreciate
I
it.
would.
I just want you to bring your own.
You wouldn't
pen when
say it,
come
but is it
once.
true?
I meant to grab the highlighter, but I was kind of late coming in, so I just grabbed my.
So you were also late.
Because I
You
was
were actually
cooking your
15
dinner.
you
I
were
worked.
15 minutes
Hold
early.
on. I worked all day, ran home, cooked dinner, cleaned up,
I'm going to have to interject on this one a little bit.
and came back.
Because you have been here for around 15-ish minutes, so you could have gotten the
Listen,
highlighter.
this is not guys getting up on
No,
little
it's not
old
really a
me.
gang up, though.
He's just making a point.
I'm just stating the facts. Like, sometimes they're not in your favor, sometimes they are. You know, it's got to
Yeah.
kind of roll with the punches.
Yes, but I had
They
to
are in your
suit up.
favor sometimes?
And then Mike was trying to, to get you two
You're
going.
not,
It's not
you're
my
not,
fault.
You're not wrong, but we are suited up. I mean, it is wireless.
It ain't my fault.
So you could walk anywhere and no wires get tangled up. So this kind of...
And you could have offered to get me a pen. Why didn't you?
I could have, but I didn't want to. But I could have, you're right. I don't have a pen either, but I'm not taking people's pens.
Yeah. Well, you're not prepared. so
I'm always prepared, even when I'm not prepared.
I don't know what to say about that.
One of us doesn't stress when we're not and they figure it out, just saying. I ain't calling names though, Jackie.
I know.
I just want.
I'll name call.
I want a clarification.
That you're the bad guy.
No.
There, it's all
You
cleared
said
up.
that sometimes it goes in her favor, sometimes against her favor. When has it ever been in her favor? I just want to know. I want to know when
I'm
she
lost.
was right.
I think I'm really tired because I haven't slept like good for 2 nights because I'm not getting it. Mike was talking to me. I wasn't hearing him. Now, what's he talking about? What's not going in my favor?
Oh, nothing. I think you're proving my point.
Yeah. I almost called in sick, but
Me too, I should have. I'm tired, I'm tired too.
the only one not tired is this man. He goes on no sleep.
I don't know, I don't get much, but I don't know. Anyways, all will be well. Anyway, we do have a few emails. I think some came in maybe a couple days ago, some came in today. So we'll start off with Hans. Hans says, hello, house people. This is my new tiny home that I purchased in Goderich, Ontario. All in $385,000.
And it is a beauty. Oh my gosh, I love it. Look at that pool.
Looks like
It's right underwater.
looks like maybe a 2-bedroom, maybe.
It is like so nice. I love it.
I think it's really nice, but I think
It
it's one of the places where, again, you're working from home or you're
Yeah.
retired and you don't need to
Well-
travel much because it looks like it's be out of the Goodrich. I'm not even sure where that is. I'm sure it's far.
Me either.
Not really much.
But this is like underwater. Look at that scenery. Like,
Yeah, it is.
holy
It's
cow.
it's very nice.
You
yes.
wake up to that every morning? That's crazy. Wow.
It's
beautiful.
big enough, but not too big to have to clean forever. But yeah, it looks
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yes.
Does look nice.
It is very nice.
Especially if you have no mortgage, even nicer.
Yeah.
Another one from Brett. Brett says, I love this idea. Hey, House Show, I love this idea. Something called granny pods.
Yes.
are new housing units that allow your aging parents to live in your backyard. This looks like it's probably like a 1-bedroom with, I'm not sure.
Yes, it's very small, not
you've
much
heard
bigger than a
these?
shed. I watched a little bit about them, but they're maybe 200 square feet, I'm gonna say. They're not very big.
So we're just throwing our parents in the backyard.
No, but I'm telling you though, some of them, like you would not know they're 200 square feet. Like they got kitchen, bathroom, they got everything.
I get kitchen and bathroom in 200 square feet.
I'm telling
And
you.
a bedroom.
Well, you have, yeah,
Oh, 10
the
by 10?
kitchen, the kitchen
Okay.
would be part of the whole
So it's like,
living
it's kind of
space,
like
the
a studio
bedroom,
kind
everything.
of, but like
And
but smaller.
and if you build up and you got 2 lofts, they're not like.
Oh, okay,
It's
so-
not
okay.
a two. You know what I
All right,
mean?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
open, considered the 200, but
Yeah.
you got 2 beds.
Okay, I got you.
So
It looks decent. I'd like to maybe have an inside view of it to kind of see the layout, but
no,
I
I think
guess-
it's a cool idea. You know what? And you know what the thing is? Our parents are aging so quickly. Well, both my parents have passed, but you know, and
You're
these-
aging very quickly, is what you mean?
you're older than me, so I wouldn't say anything if I were you.
But I'm not aging
Anyways.
quickly.
And yeah, maybe not here, but everywhere else you are. Anyways, these homes that we put them in, that sometimes we're forced to put them in because there's nowhere else. The waiting list is so long. Some of them are just horrific. Like I have a client right now, and she has her mom and dad in one. Can no longer stay in their home, and she's paying $3,700 a month. There's nobody that feeds them, so the family has to do, a schedule of going in and feeding them lunch and dinner.
okay.
Because
what do you mean
it's
feeding them? They have-
skeleton staff.
So
It's a
they-
private place.
But they have to bring the food themselves.
No, they have to go there to actually feed them.
Oh, they're not
Because
well enough to feed
they
them.
don't have enough staff that they can help the people that can't really handle their
Okay.
own food. So the family has to come and do that. But I'm like, and then she said to me, $3,700 each for them to be there. It's a private place. And I said to her, this place doesn't even sound like this guy should even be open. Like, he has no staff there. It's crazy. So to be able to, sorry guys, be able to do something like this, and then you know what, with the extra funds or whatever, you can have somebody come, on the daily to help you with different things for them. I think it's amazing. And then if you have children yourself, your kids still get to be around their grandparents, which I think is so important.
Do you know what one of these go for? Have you seen the pricing of these?
Those little ones?
Yeah.
No, I can't remember, Anthony. I can't remember, but it's something, you build yourself, so it just depends on what fixings you want in it, I guess, finishings, right? It's like a laneway house, only they're smaller.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing. Well,
Yeah,
a
they
quick-
can just drop them in place.
a quick
Yeah.
search on, good old Google here. Says prefab granny pods typically range from 40 to 125.
Is that Canada?
Not sure.
Yeah, you'd need to look
Well,
Canada.
I see one here on Amazon, 29,000.
Yeah,
and is that-
Amazon's
is
selling
that
them now.
for warm weather locations, like,
You're asking 20 questions, Randy. Like this.
I'm just saying.
Just go with it, man.
And,
Yeah, I don't think
depends.
20,000, 30,000, 40,000 is
Is it up-
realistic here in Canada. I think it might be okay in Florida, but actually I don't think, because then you'd fry. So you'd go out see Grandpa and he's actually, cooked to death.
Okay, that's enough.
So I'm just saying, you need some climate control, and that's where the cost is. Because once you add climate control in it, you now have to have it relatively airtight. You have to have a way to circulate the air and all that, and that's where you start to increase your pricing quite a bit. As we know, when we go to the Caribbean, it's totally different. Like, you can see through the cracks in the side of the doors
Yes,
and the
but-
windows
okay,
and all that
but
stuff.
think about it. Think about this though. You can buy one of those containers.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's a 40, 60 foot, 80 foot, whatever. What do they come in?
80 foot would be a pretty big one.
Is it a big? I don't
Yeah,
know.
40 feet is, I think, the biggest you can get.
Is it
yes.
those things
Yeah.
that the trains
40
carry,
40
whatever the
feet,
hell
yeah.
you call it?
So you got
Anyways,
20 foots, 10
people
foots,
do those,
40 foots.
and they make a house out of one of those.
Yeah,
so
or-
if you
or
buy one
several of
of those,
them.
then think about it though. If you buy one of those, I see them now all over for $1,000.
A little more than that, but
No,
I know
I've
what you
seen
mean.
them for $1,000.
Yeah, you've seen one for $1,000
No,
that you have
okay,
to.
hold on.
I'm
How
just
do
saying.
you decide what I've seen?
Because I
Anybody,
have.
anybody hearing this? This man has decided already. Like,
Yeah, and I would.
yeah, but it would be a lot of finishings to get in that little space to spend $100,000. That would
Okay.
be some.
Well, you asked me a question. How would
Right.
I know what you've seen?
Yeah.
Because I've been actively looking for it for a friend, and not only have I been looking, but so has he. And $1,000 is very hard to find them. $2,000 more realistic, and you can get them 14, 18. I have seen one for $1,000, but you had to get a crane to get it. So you're,
Well,
you know,
yeah, of course, you have to put a crane.
No,
But we had a crane not
many of
that
them-
long ago, a couple grand a crane. So you're still under 5,000 to start with, and
okay,
you've
but
got
you
the
can buy them
shell.
for 2 and 3
and you got the
without
shell.
having needing a crane.
So now you insulate, do some, fireplaces, what heat it, little wall air conditioner, stand up
Insulation is a
shower.
little more of a cost than you think. But I do hear you. So to insulate, you have things to think about. You have to
I know.
have the place breathe. Yeah, there are some serious considerations.
Okay, but hold
Just
on.
saying.
Hold on.
But you're
But
saying it's
a
relative,
quote-
right?
A quote for a 1,400 square foot finished room with heating and all that, 139,000.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. that
And
sounds
that's
about
way
right.
bigger than a tiny home.
Oh, what you're saying, the cost of doing
Yeah,
that.
I'm saying in the end, because you were saying to Anthony, because what Anthony looked up, it said anywhere from up to 100, right? Wasn't it?
4,200, but I think it was American dollars.
Yeah, it would be American, and it wouldn't be weatherproofed for GTA weather. Grandpa would either be a popsicle or cooked.
Oh my God.
Just
Help
saying.
me.
Just saying. So, I mean, I love my grandparents, so I would never do that to them. But I could understand you're in a different situation.
Are you trying to say that's why hers aren't here anymore? Is that
I'm
what
just
you're
teasing.
getting at?
I mean, if it was your family, no, I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah. You wouldn't if it was my family,
That's true. I love
because
your
my
family.
family took care of you.
Oh yes, when I was a wee child. Yeah. Okay.
Well, for the last 30 years, I've been taking care of you.
My bad.
Like a wee child. Let's just change the order of the words. Like a wee child.
All right.
All right, we got one more from, or a few more, but one from Mary. Mary says, "Hello, Randy and friends. I'm hearing that the real estate market here in Canada is still in the crapper." So it depends what you mean by the crapper. It's
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't say it's not much of a change for I guess the year, but it's not. If you put it this way, if you're looking to sell, I wouldn't be jumping for joy because I'm selling right now, right?
Yeah.
Unless you bought it 20, 30 years ago, because then you're still laughing, right? You
Yeah.
paid 100, 200, maybe 300,000. You will 3x your money if you bought it 30 years ago. If you bought it 3 to 4 years ago, then you're crying, right? So, because if you break even, it really depends on when you bought it. But even 4 years ago, you'd be a bit hard to come out on top if you bought it that
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, I agree.
What
if
was
we're
I saying to you earlier about that, because he said that Property Brothers said, how many people are going to be baby boomers next year, going to have to be modifying or doing something with their home? It was an astronomical number.
Baby boomers, why?
600 trillion.
Because a lot of baby boomers
That's astronomical.
his age,
Mm-hmm.
they can't
My
do stairs
age.
or nothing anymore, so they got to do modifications now if they want to stay in their
Or
home.
modifications or leave.
Yeah.
Or get those my grandma had one of those
Chair
yeah, the
lifts,
chair
yeah.
thingies, yeah.
Yeah.
They are cool. I just wish they would put gears on them so you could go up and change gears, right? Because you're still young at heart. You just don't want to go up
Yes,
there and
and
slow.
he'd be going up the
have to
stairs and
listen
he'd be through the roof.
Hey, Tim the tool man, you turn that up through the roof.
You know?
As Mary was mentioning about the real estate market in the crapper, Mary, I would agree as a long term, if we're looking from 2021 to today, I would say that yes, it is in the crapper. If we're looking from last month to now, there are two sort of schools of thought. And it depends where you're located. If you're in Canada, the market has gone down year over year, 3.3%, but last month over this month, it's gone down 0.8% in Canada. If you're looking at the GTA, it actually went up 1.1%. However, 1% fluctuation really doesn't always tell us the true story, because if you have some luxury properties that are moving more than the small condos per se, that will skew the price upwards. And when we look at the home price index, which is a little bit more of a apples to apples comparison, for example, home price index is when you compare, let's say, a 3-bedroom detached bungalow in East York with a 3-bedroom detached bungalow in East York. So they're comparing apples with apples as opposed to the whole market in general and get an average price. We're seeing a minus 3.3% overall for the year. So yeah, I think it's fair to say it's in the crapper. However, it is showing some signs of stabilizing in the interim. However, the crosswinds, what's coming down the pipeline? For example, the weatherman says, yes, it is nice out today, it's sunny and everything, but there's a cold front coming from wherever, and it's blowing this way, and it should be here by nightfall, and it's going to be a cold evening. We are looking at something of that nature in real estate. The cold front is the record-breaking amount of properties that are coming up for mortgage renewals for next year, that these people are coming from an experience where they had mortgage rates of anywhere from 1.9% to 2.3%, in that range, 2.4%. And now they're going to be experiencing 5.5% interest rate. So some of these people are not going to be able to keep their homes, and they're going to be forced to sell because their costs to carry the home, along with inflation costs, the price of bread and everything going up, there is no way that they're going to be able to sustain life for any length of time, and they're going to be forced to sell. This may cause a influx of inventory, making it difficult for each party to sell, causing them to sort of, want to get sold and have to be more aggressive with their price to get sold, so they don't have to pay the high mortgage rates. And this environment is coming down the pipeline that we're going to start seeing next year. Just remember, in 2021, that was our big year, the biggest year in the history of the Toronto Real Estate Board. We'd have to look at the stats, but it would be, which would be on TREB Market Watch, which just Google search for that and that'll pop that up. But I believe we're somewhere around in 2021, 120,000 transactions, and those transactions have mortgage renewals right at the end, go right to the bottom. Those have mortgage renewals coming up next year. So 2021,
last year,
121,712 transactions.
and
those people have mortgages coming up.
last year in
next
October,
year.
there was 4,000 and change sales.
And-
This year, 6,000, and
It's
so
monthly.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
So, yeah.
October of last year was
okay.
over 4,000 sales, but October this year it's over 6,500. So there's more activity.
Yes, more
It's
activity
increasing a bit,
this
right?
year. However, last year, if you're doing 10, let's say selling 10 chocolate bars every single October, but last October you sold 1 chocolate bar, so you had a really bad year. And this October you sell 3 chocolate bars and still have a really bad year. Either way, it's a bad year. It's a bad October for us, but it's much better than last year. It's like 4% better than last year. So
And the rent prices are coming down a teeny tiny bit. They're getting a little bit better.
Rent prices
Not a
are getting
lot,
better,
but-
which means that there's more inventory in the rental market, which is helping to ease the pain for renters. However, we're going to see that again take a little bit of a hit next year, where homeowners are either forced to downsize or join the rental pool, adding more competition in the rental market.
Yeah, and you know
right?
what? I'm going to guesstimate that a lot of people will probably sell and go into the rental market and bank their money.
And bank their money
And not want to
and
pay these
wait.
interest rates with all the, everything else, like full-blown prices, right? Gas, food. I think the competition for the rental
Mm-hmm.
is going to start rising a little bit again by the end of spring.
Yeah.
Because
And
most people move the end of spring, right?
And the fact, I think everybody by now may have been following what's happening. It's not as confusing of a time to understand that our GDP numbers, while they've been rising and they haven't been saying we're in a recession, everybody is kind of at the point where they understand that that our GDP per capita, which means what we're all really feeling, is a lot less than what it was. Therefore, we're all feeling like we're in a recession. However, the number isn't being recorded that way. And that's because there's 1 million more people here spending money, therefore increasing the GDP. But if they didn't have that 1 million people here and they only had 100,000, something normal come in, we would all understand they would be talking about the recession for quite some time. So, what's happening is that, you know, the job market is not getting that great. Inflation has sort of kind of come in line, but the problem is while it has come in line, we've already experienced such a grave price hike that it's just not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable for any of the people who have to buy groceries, buy gas, any of the people who were caught in the middle of this, performing tasks like building houses and stuff like that. It's really unfortunate. I can tell you with regards to building houses, prior to COVID, we were, you know, every phase was gonna cost around $20,000 to frame it, and then $20,000 to do your insulation, and $20,000 to do your windows. And after COVID, it's $40,000 for each one of those phases. It's really kind of insane. But
And you can't, some lumber is sold out all the time.
yeah, so life is different. It's a lot harder.
yes.
Never mind that the government has increased the fees of everything about 30% when it comes to building, making it even harder. Don't forget, the government keeps saying, hey, we want affordable housing, but they're making it more and more unaffordable with the practices that they're doing. How can you say that you want more affordable housing on one hand, but you increase the cost of building houses on the other? And then what you do is then you give a GST rebate to pretend like you're reducing the cost, but you jacked up the cost to get the permits and
It's
everything.
politics. You don't listen. Look what they do. Just listen to what they say. Let it go. Come on.
Okay, okay, so I hear you.
Hey, actually, just before we kind of move on, you're talking about the GDP. I had one article we want to talk about with immigration. Apparently, Canada is losing 1 in 5 immigrants, high-skilled labor most likely. Basically, a study by the Institute for Canadian Citizenship said that 20% of immigrants who arrived in Canada between 1982 and 2019 have left the country. Right, many of these occur within the first 5 years of when they arrive. And I guess one of the main issues is that these are the immigrants that we're actually trying to bring in, like the high-skilled individuals. And again, part of the reason they're leaving is some of them are having issues finding work.
And housing.
And housing. Also, sometimes their credentials aren't recognized, even though like they've got
Yes.
they get their schooling and they come here and they have to be like a, whatever,
So
for lack of
stupid.
better things like taxi driver or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
When they're fully qualified, right? So again, this can also have an effect on our GDP long term if a lot of the people who are coming in skilled are going to leave because there goes some of our, I guess, money generating power.
Anthony, before you do some more emails, you want to tell people how they can find
Well-
us on YouTube and email?
For those of us, if you're not Jackie, if you want to find us, just go
Yeah,
to
I couldn't find us.
is to go to YouTube and type in @YourTeamPros. We should be the first on the list. If you want to see us right now, we're on YouTube Live right now. If you want to send us an email, send it to yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. We'd love to hear any questions you may have, real estate or otherwise.
And you know, I was toying with the idea. I said to Randy last night, you know what would be fun? Is if we had some of our viewers who have, well, they're listeners, sorry, I keep forgetting, because I'm
Both.
watching, or both. If we were to open the show and say, anybody want to come in and do a little sit down with us and talk about real estate, what your concerns are, I think that would be great. I'd love to meet some of these people that listen or watch us. I think that'd be, so if anybody out there wants to come on the show, hit us up. Be pretty cool.
All right, we'll see. All right, we got another email from Gloria. Gloria says, hey to the real estate show. Interest rates now in GTA. I think you're looking for the interest rate. So the overnight rate is 3.75%, I believe. But if you're talking about mortgage rates, I can talk more about that right now. I'm sure we have that offhand. I know I think the fixed rates are what, around 4 or 5?
4 to 5%, depending on what bracket you're in. It could be higher, 5.5%.
It varies even
Depending
higher.
on the bank and where you go, depends on also what features in the mortgage that you're looking for, how long you need it for, your amortization, your qualifications. But you're looking realistically anywhere from about 4% to 6% on average, 5% being your mid ground, 4% being very difficult to find. You also would have very little bells and whistles in there, no prepayment clauses, other issues like you could not break that mortgage or you're gonna have to pay an arm and a leg, so you better make sure that you're not going anywhere if you were to take on a mortgage like that, and that there's no family problems. Like, for example, in our family where my wife bothers me all the time, so I never really know if I'm stable in my home.
You're not. I'll let you know, you're not.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. I think that was Gloria. Hopefully that answers your question. Bill, this one's for you, Jackie. I think
Okay.
earlier when you were talking about your dinner plans, or you made dinner. So he's saying, Jackie, what was dinner? KFC or Wendy's?
Well, first off, Bill, I'm a newfie.
Thank you, Bill.
Hold on. I'm a newfie, so it would be Mary Brown's, not KFC, okay? I actually made pork chops with scalloped potato, green beans, Caesar salad, and fried onions and mushrooms.
Sounds good. Can't wait to eat that.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
can't afford KFC or Mary Brown's anymore. The prices are just
Oh,
insane.
some of the places are ridiculous. Like they're like
Brown's
almost
is
sounded
so
like more than like going out like for dinner at some of these places.
Is it?
It's crazy.
Well, McDonald's, and I don't know how all these seniors, when they're on like fixed incomes, are going to McDonald's all the time. McDonald's is highway robbery.
Like a large
What are you
fry is
talking
like almost
The
$6.
price.
Is it?
Yeah, large
I
fries
don't,
like
I
almost
don't eat out,
$6.
so.
I know, it's ridiculous. And yeah, Bill, my husband doesn't like fast food.
But I do like McDonald's fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like Burger King Whoppers. Oh, I like those. Even though the meat's dry,
I
but
have
with the
to be in
tomato
the
and everything,
mood.
it just kind of.
I have to be in the mood for that.
Alright.
But I have had a good one before.
One more, or two more questions. One from Lori talking about contests, basically asking any more if we're having any more coming up.
That's
URA contest. Okay, so we are so close to doing that right now. We have teamed up with and this is why part of the delay. We've teamed up with another gentleman. We have 38 businesses on board to be helping, giving away prizes, and that one of the prizes are one of the prizes
Will be.
Will be there. We're all different in our English skills.
One of us is right.
Muskoka, a mansion for a weekend. So I think there's like 20 beds or something really amazing there.
Like a chalet.
There's
Not
glamping
chalet,
site also for a weekend. There's a Barbados all-inclusive trip. There's a free dinner at Fazio's down there, which is, an amazing Italian restaurant. And there's these things coming down the pipeline, which is going to be really exciting. We've been working really feverishly to try to put this together and get it as a great thing. And we'll be asking people to definitely go and check us out on YouTube at YouTube
At Your Team
/ at Your Team Pros.
Yeah, or just search at Your Team Pros on YouTube.
Or search at Your Team Pros, and then in YouTube, and you will be there.
Almost ready to go with it.
And we are almost ready to go. We're going to be able to really push this forward. It's kind of exciting. I know that we've held off for a bit, but it's coming, and it's going to be exciting.
All right.
It is.
One last one from Bob in regards to container homes. Bob says, hello. Randy's not exactly right regarding container homes.
Thank you, Bob.
You don't even know what he says yet.
Oh, Carrie said Randy's not right.
There's a company called Evian in Canada that sells 40-foot containers that average between $1,000 and $1,800.
Yeah, and $1,800.
Between-
the average. How can it average between $1,000?
What? That means some are 1,000 in order for 1,000.
No, some would have to be 500.
Okay, children, let me finish the email.
Some would have to be 500.
Let's finish the email first. So
What's the name of that?
Evian, Eveon. When the container companies build a container home, they can build them for 3 seasons or 4, not for just 1. They don't do that. My brother has one in North Bay, Ontario.
Oh, it's cold up there.
The contract. Oh gosh. The contractor just insulates the container as he would for any 3 or 4 season container. It is an air conditioner or heating system that you would be installing that keeps you warm or cool. There's really no difference in the setup of the container regarding insulation, etc. In Florida, a regular room container does the job very well to keep the entire home very cool. And a very small RV furnace takes care of my brother's heat for the very cold winters.
Yeah, that's true.
Where he lives. These homes are a great deal. Jackie,
Read the last part. Read it out loud.
You are right on.
Yeah.
What's his name? Bob, right?
This was Bob. Yes.
Okay.
I love you, Bob.
You're in Randy's bad books, Bob.
Well, you're in my good books.
Strong number of corners, 40-foot container. So I'm on the website. I think if they had, so first of all, if you're between 1,000 and 1,800, then you've got to have an average price of 14.
That seems very low. So the whole container is $1,800.
Yeah, but it's just a
If you
container.
just buy the
just a
container.
It's just a container.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
then you got to do all your cutouts for your windows,
Yeah.
doors.
Yeah, and I think if you get like an $1,800
And Randy
one, it's
could
got
cut the windows
problems
and
in
doors
it.
out.
There's no way. Why would they sell one? They're 40 foot.
It depends on the shape, maybe. The
You mean the condition?
Right?
So yeah. So you know what? I will check into that. They're not giving out
He
their
will try
prices.
to prove us wrong,
Well,
Bob.
I don't think I have to prove you wrong. I think that you are wrong.
Well,
because you can go on Kijiji and find out the prices there.
Well, you're talking about insulation. I don't think insulation is that big a deal. And I think he's kind of right with you have to have a good heater and you have to have an AC. He's talking about Florida, you would have to have an AC. Obviously, you don't need to heat so much out there.
Okay, so let's put this in perspective. We were talking about putting your grandparents out there.
Yeah.
No, we
Okay?
weren't. Not in a container.
That's what you...
I never said I was putting grandparents. I don't even
What
have
the
any
heck?
grandparents.
All right,
Hold
well,
on. I don't even have grandparents. Where did you get that
It
from?
doesn't matter who you're putting in. You're still going to have it properly heated or cooled.
I think it's different if I'm in there
If
than
he's
grandpa
in there,
or
there's
grandma.
no heat and no air conditioning for him.
Well, no. If you live in Canada, you have to have a heater. And
No, he doesn't. I'm not giving him that when
Who?
I put him in the backyard.
Who, grandpa?
You.
Huh? Yeah, I just teasing you. So here, we're looking at the prices. There's one 1550, 2000, 1950, 2200, 1200,
Ooh, getting
1900.
close.
So that's it. Those are the prices.
Oh,
Those are 900.
$900.
Yeah, 20 footer.
I don't care.
All right,
It's
we're
$900.
regardless. But this
Oh.
doesn't really prove anything for you, Jack, because at the end of the day, you still have to.
That 12.
I just said you can buy the container.
That-
That's all I said,
That
Anthony.
$1,200 one is a 20 footer too, and we were talking about 40 footers. So
No,
anyways,
no. We were talking about, I was talking about containers.
Okay,
Maybe
well,
I was talking about a lunch container. What do you know?
okay, so lunch containers are just a couple of dollars, so you were way off then. And Bob, we really don't appreciate you empowering her like this.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, good.
Bobby Joe, Bob. Yeah, anyways, I got a story. They are proposing, you know where the Blue Sky and
Yeah.
the
In
fitness.
Pickering?
Yeah, right
Yeah.
there, right off the highway, you see,
Yeah.
Blue Sky and all that.
Brocken
yeah.
401.
Well,
Brocken Highway 2. Oh, wait. Oh, Blue Sky, right.
yeah,
right
Brocken
off.
the
401.
401.
Oh, right. Okay, right by the.
Yeah,
Never-
you can
never
see
try to correct me.
the fitness place,
Won't work
Good
out
Life
well.
Oh, Good Life is
Fitness.
okay.
Do you
Yeah.
see what happened to Bob?
Oh, Bob. Oh my God. Anyways, they are proposing a massive development of 12 towers ranging
Yeah.
20 to 43 stories, right? And the address is 1755 Pickering Parkway. The plan is to have 5,297 dwelling units, studios up to 3 bedrooms. There will be almost 2,500 parking spaces, almost 2,700 bike parking spaces, and a large park on the ground level, I guess. There's also going to be commercial spaces. Right now, it's currently 2,600 square meters of commercial use, which they said they will match that and put it back.
So, wait,
they're
so are
also-
they going to tear down the Blue Sky and use
they're
that?
not tearing. They said right now there's people fighting it. Okay, there's one lady that went up against and she said no. A large development like this, who's going to pay the cost for it? The taxpayers. And she's like, who's going to pay everything? But then one of the counselors
why would
said,
the taxpayers pay for it if it's going to be residential?
and commercial. Well, taxes
Even
always go up
commercial,
when
it should
stuff
be,
happens,
it's the
right?
developers
Yes.
that pay.
Yeah,
And that's what they're saying.
And the city makes money from it.
Exactly.
Did she tie herself to a tree as well?
I don't know. I hope she's
Yeah,
not
that one
listening.
that one doesn't really make sense because if you're building residential, the city doesn't
Mm-hmm.
pay for that. You have to buy the land, you have to pay taxes,
Yeah.
different things,
So-
permits for the building. They should make money from
Yeah.
that.
So they're also going to be doing 1.4 hectare Central Park that will include pickleball courts, splash pad, basketball courts. So 10% of the entire space will be park setting for different things.
Where's this Hector Park place? Is it somewhere else or the same place?
No, it's all there. It's a huge. They're taking over that whole section
Like-
off Notion and that.
Like
There's
everything.
a lot of land
I know
there.
like
Everything's getting
like the
ripped
Dollar
out.
Tree, all those.
All
little,
of it's getting ripped out.
And where would those commercial places go then after that? No,
Well, they're going to be on the ground level of the
It
buildings.
might be
right?
underneath
Oh.
the buildings.
But they said that they're not, the supermarket and the fitness won't go right away. That will not be moved in the initial phase, but it's only in planning right now. But how much, we need housing for people,
Yep.
right? And I can't see how it's not going to go through because,
but
this
it's
is
more
what they want.
condos. Do we want more condos? Though? That's the thing. Like,
Ooh, there's
That's
no
what's
choice.
affordable, right?
There is no choice. Our government has gone to high density products.
it's crazy. In Ajax, know the McDonald's by Bailey and
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that strip plaza
Oh,
there.
yes, they ripped
How
it down
they-
where Sally Ann's used to be.
Sure.
You don't know what Sally Ann's
I know
is,
there was
do
like
you,
a
you young
there was a
buck?
flooring place in there. There was
Yeah.
one place in there.
Salvation Army
Yeah,
was there.
and even across the street before was like just nothing. Now it's like it's all townhouses there.
Yeah,
And I'm guessing
yeah.
that's what they're gonna put there too, where all the construction was.
Yeah, they didn't say only condos, but
It'll be stacked
but they
townhouses,
said
a whole
this
bunch
is
of
a
stuff.
20
High
year.
But if they're putting
plan.
5,000 units, it has to be either a condo. Has to be a lot of condos, maybe a few
Yeah.
townhouses. But like for that many units, and that There
in that
is big,
small
but-
area.
Yeah, it's not
Same-
that big.
Same as what they're doing down here,
5,300.
right, at the old Nob Hill Farms. The plan is some condos, some townhouses, some attached rows, you know, that sort of thing is mixed in. But this is a 20-year long,
All that means is more traffic.
get everything.
We need to extend that
It
highway.
will be more traffic. Pickering is going to be a metropolis, and so is Oshawa. Oshawa is going to turn into a metropolis as well.
Yeah.
And so those two hubs are going to be there. Know that I think we got like 10,000.
Why do you think Pickering's been metropolis? Why Pickering?
Because they're going to have
Oh,
this
they're gonna
project
have the
there,
GO
they're going to
train,
have the
yeah.
casino project and all the condos around it. The population in Pickering is going to be massive. And the proximity from Pickering to Toronto is a very, like, I mean, you're right on the border of the east end of Toronto, right? So you can get right downtown Toronto within 30 minutes right off of the GO. It's actually a really amazing location
and it's
for
close to the
working
GO station as
downtown.
well. You can walk to the GO.
And it's small enough
much.
and condensed enough that you can be really, really close to the GO. So, and all
Well, I think you're always kind of close to the GO in Pickering, unless you're kind of far north. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's small enough for that. Unlike
yeah.
Oshawa is a little bit more spread out and
Yeah, bigger.
in that. So, but there is the heritage part of Pickering that stretches
Oh,
over.
Sorry, she found another email.
I did.
So this is
Hi,
from
Irene.
This is from Irene. Subject line: Our container home. Jackie, we live in a container home. You are right.
What?
Oh no.
Well, so you got it? You got that home for $1,000, Irene?
Our furnace is an RV furnace that uses propane, and we live in a four-season area in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Thunder Bay is cold.
We also have a window air conditioner to keep us cool in the summer. Our container cost us $1,200 from that company that you talked about. Our construction costs were just under $3,000, and our home looks amazing. Kudos to Jackie.
$3,000?
That's, I don't know if that's the typo, but
Construction.
Hey,
She never said
Irene,
finished.
Construction mean?
Irene, if you're listening,
I'm
just-
thinking maybe where they
Shut
have
it,
put
lady.
it. Yeah.
So you're saying, so basically what you're saying is for $4,200, you got a basically I'm assuming like a one-bedroom home, maybe two, I guess, depending on the container.
Maybe a studio.
Or a studio, yeah. So is it $3,000 or $30,000? Because $3,000 seems to like put
I'm
like a
thinking
washroom in there.
3,000 might have been just the cement block.
Yeah.
Well, no, you couldn't do a cement block for 3,000. I don't think with the containers here in Canada, they do want you to have a base underneath
Yeah.
it. But if you don't put a base, like, cause the base for a hot tub was $3,000 just the other day. So I don't know how
Yeah,
you could do
sure,
it.
yeah.
And that's an 8x8 base.
Maybe
So
she-
never
maybe she-
mind a
maybe she
40
forgot a
foot
zero.
Maybe it
base.
was, yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
and-
Even if she did forget a zero, for call it $35,000, you're still.
And
I
propane
don't
is
believe
cheap.
it's possible. But I don't
Irene,
know.
can we come up and spend a weekend so Randy
You
can
can
see us?
go. You can go take pictures. The thing is what I was thinking was, well, first of all, you don't even like going in RVs. Forget about it.
What? Who said I don't like?
You
Okay,
don't.
we're
You
not.
don't
We're not
like
doing this.
outdoors. You don't like any of that stuff. Come on, girl.
How can the-
Okay, hold on. Going in an RV is not being outside in a tent.
So you have to have, for you to go in an RV, it has to be one of those big $1 million RVs that are whatever. You can't go in a regular, normal one. That's not you.
You mean
you
something
know it.
broke up something?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
you're
see,
right.
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Dang right.
The
But you're
nucleus
gonna
coming
go
out.
and go and live in a $3,000 container. Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't believe it, Irene.
You know
I
what?
think
Actually,
Irene.
if I got rid of you, I wouldn't
is-
need much more space in a container to live in.
Actually, that would be a really good idea for you. I think you and the cat, and you'd be fine.
I don't own
or
a cat.
15 cats.
Actually, the cat tipped over my cup of coffee while I was home. I had to mop the floor
Thought
and
you just said
everything.
you don't own a
That's
cat.
what this is.
My daughter has a rambunctious cat.
The hairless one?
No, they both have
The
a
British
cat.
hair with the glowing orange eyes waits for you to walk away from your cup.
Looks at you. It's just so. It's
And
actually
then she
very
does,
cute.
I'm telling you, the other night, Ray and I were sitting down watching TV, and she's like this, and I'm like, Randy, and we grab it because this is her paw. And she's sitting
Oh,
there.
yeah, they just love to knock anything they can off. But she's looking at you straight in the eye
As
while
she's
she's
moving
like,
her ball.
okay, watch this.
do
Watch
something.
this. It's like, yeah, it's kind of fascinating. I'm not sure what it is that they love about that, but they just love to knock things
Yeah,
off
they
the counter.
love to break
They get
things.
high on it. And they watch it drop too.
Actually, they do. Actually, some kind of something that releases in their brain when they knock things over. I was reading
Is it
about
the same chemical that
That
women
does
get
with
when
you?
they nag their husbands? Is it the same chemical? I'm thinking it is. Because it's forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
The joke may not have landed well on camera.
It didn't. It didn't. It did not.
Okay, Jack, what else you got going on there?
Oh, wow. Okay, I can't do this one because
No?
I won't. But anyways, it's the credit bureaus are now joining up with the landlord and tenant board to be able to go on there now and check out people that rent it, whose rent's in arrears, who didn't have good standings paying their rent and everything. So
I don't know how they're going to be able to do that because Justin Trudeau
it's
just
a
passed.
proposal.
Yeah, it's a proposal that I don't know how they're going to get that passed because we've been trying for years. Here, back in the day when we were, riding donkeys, when I first got into real estate, we used to have a list.
Yeah, they were riding donkeys and you sure it wasn't dinosaurs?
We used to have a list of bad tenants that would go around ripping off landlords. Then they made it illegal to have that list. It was against the
Really?
Privacy Act. Yeah, that's why you
ridiculous.
can't find
so
a list
you can go
like
around
that.
and screw people and
Right.
that's some BS.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the Kathleen Wynne thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's whatever. So anyway,
Bless
so
her
this,
heart.
but I don't think it was just that. It was also privacy. A whole bunch of stuff. They're saying it's against the privacy. So it empowered people to go around ripping off landlords. And right now, I would say it's a pandemic
Yes.
per se, and it's actually
Called professional
Yeah, and I-
renters, we call
causing
them.
it helped to cause the price of rentals to go up, right?
I told you about the story about the guy who told my dad, I'm not gonna pay rent for the next 6 months, nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And,
that's
and it literally, it happened just as he said.
Yeah.
And then you can go to court. You can even get
You
a
can't do
whatever
anything,
that
man.
A judgment.
A
You
judgment.
go,
Yeah. You can't find them.
They give you $50. The judge says, oh, he made an attempt. Give him another 3 months. You
I
do it
know,
again. It's
I
like
know.
it's a bunch of BS.
2
check
years
this
later, the
out,
guy's
though.
still there.
Yeah.
Renter advocacy groups worry that it could hurt low-income tenants who fall behind by damaging their credit. Well, first of all, you need a roof over your head, so before you do anything else, pay your bloody rent.
Okay, so I'm going to agree with you, but not that aggressively. Do it a little more passively. So, but the thing is that this really does not benefit the way that everybody thinks, because the problem is that now you get a lot of mom and pa's that were hoping to, they aren't professional landlords. All they are is a mom and pa that's trying to have a retirement plan, and owning a house and having the tenant help to pay that mortgage off is part of their retirement plan. And then you get tenants that come in because the government says, no, the landlord's the rich one and the tenant's the poor one, so we got to protect the tenant from the landlord. But the landlord's not rich. They're just a mom and pa working hard, trying to get a better future. And the government came in and said, well, you know what, not so quick. We're not giving you that kind of future. And so while they were trying to protect the tenants against the rich guy can afford for you not to pay the rent and they can still handle it. The mom and pa can't. So what happens? Mom and pa no longer uses that as a retirement program, and therefore there's a lot less rentals out there, and therefore you're competing for rentals and the rental prices go up. So the government's not doing any favors, and this is part of the problem, is that when they step in and they think they're being compassionate and they're making these artificial changes to the free marketplace, it has consequences, and so that's one. So here, what happened here, just a little bit of backstory, I'll just be 1 minute, is that here Justin Trudeau said, hey, listen, we're gonna allow for tenants to be able to have their credit bureaus put on to put their good payments put onto the credit bureau. So the thing is that it has to be the tenant that approves it. The tenant has to sign for you to be able to do that.
Yes, but what
So,
agents are doing
starting
to
to
get
do.
around that is it's a clause right in the agreement. So they're agreeing to it right in the agreement.
Right.
So
So-
basically, if you want this house, you have to agree to this.
We have to agree to it. However,
Actually, I shouldn't say agents are doing
that is currently what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Will it continue to be allowed to happen is another thing, or will it not be recognized? We have seen in many cases, for example, the tenant. You put in there that the tenant has to maintain the lawn, has to clear the snow, things that have to be done for the tenant, for the bylaw to have a home in that community. The bylaws say that you got to have that, and the tenants live in there. Well, guess what? The landlord and tenant board say, we don't recognize those clauses. We don't care if the tenant has signed it. It is not their responsibility. It is yours. And so therefore now the landlords can get fines from the city and the tenant, or they have to go and take care of the lawn and the snow at the tenant's place.
So I don't know, like I can kind of see the privacy thing, but I think there should be some kind of clause where, like, if you get kicked out because you didn't pay your rent, like maybe there's no list, but maybe like at least they know, so that if it happens again and they're back at landlord tenancy board, whatever, there's like you're gone. Like there's no like this 6 month like for have someone going from house to house to house like the
Professional
same,
tenants.
Yeah, like
Yes.
there should be some way around that where if you do it, there's like not even 3 strikes, maybe 2 strikes. You know what? Stuff I get it. Stuff happens sometimes, but at the end of the day, like stuff happens for you, but you're now causing a ripple effect with whoever this landlord is, right? Especially with as you're saying, the mom and pop places where, again, it's not like I have 100 units where if you're not paying your rent, I can make things work. I might have I may have my job, and in this one place where I can't afford to pay my mortgage and this mortgage if you're not paying. Right? I'm counting on you to do what you said you're going to do to honor your word, right?
And that's where Kathleen Wynne came in. She's like, "Oh, the rich landlord." Some people are just struggling to do this to get it to have it.
Yeah, if you have like the big apartment building where you have whatever, you expect to have whatever 5% not rented here and there. Again, when you have one place, maybe even 2, you can't have that. This is like, I don't know. I think it's a bit ridiculous. I don't know. It's just. I've seen it too many times where again, these professional renters. And we do have an update from Irene. Irene says, this is what we paid, the $3,000. We had a local welder weld the frame, and a landscape company leveled the lot with a bobcat. A local contractor did the inside work. It was basically nice paint, and we bought the stuff for the house on sale and closeouts. Think about it. This is like painting and decorating a home. It is possible, and we did it. And she sent the picture, I'm assuming it's of the home she
If
has.
that's your house, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, and it looks like it is on a...
And it's a studio, but look at it.
It looks like it is on a concrete
beautiful.
block.
So hold on, did she say that they had a landscaper level the lot?
With a bobcat.
Yes,
And-
a local contractor did some work, and they had a local welder that did the
Here's the
frame
thing.
and everything.
Again, you're saying what's true, even if it was 10 grand.
I
it
think
was-
that's wonderful, Irene. Congratulations. You are 1 in a million. I do not.
Condescending.
I'm just saying, I don't believe it can be repeated. Irene.
I don't know. To
right
me,
now,
this is beautiful.
Jack.
I think that's
right
great.
now, if you wanted to redo our bathroom, what would be the cost?
20 grand minimum.
Okay, that's the bathroom, and you already have it. You have all the installation,
But-
you have all the
but-
wiring, you have all the plumbing, and that's the cost.
But maybe your husband was able to do a lot of
I
stuff,
understand. So
you know,
then you still have to
But
buy
you-
the
Let's
parts.
talk about the average person.
You still have to buy the parts. We have it all already in there, but to bring a contractor in just to do the damn one bathroom, it's going to be 20 grand. That's not going from scratch. That's going from having everything in the bathroom. So that's why I find it very difficult to believe. However,
Listen,
you
she's
did a
a savvy
whole
shopper,
house,
so are you. You know that.
landscaping, and the house and insulation
never said
and
no.
wiring and yeah, it
She
sounds
did not
complicated.
say they did the landscaping.
She
She
did.
said they leveled the lot for
Well, that's
her.
landscaping. Look at
No,
look at
they
look at the
leveled the
lot.
lot.
They put down those tiles. How much are those? They're like $40 each. She's got
Maybe
like
she
30
had
of them.
them.
There's $500 right there.
She said they outsourced everything from
Or more.
closeout places
Actually,
and
it's probably-
everything. Listen,
It's
you could
possible.
actually go on Marketplace and get Gigi and fill your house with furniture for free, okay?
Well,
So
I'm
let's
gonna
not-
say, Irene, I probably should have married you. That's all I'm gonna say, because my wife's glasses cost me more than your house, and so I just don't know how that's possible. I'm just saying.
Or maybe we should know when she
So,
got it.
you know,
It
Yeah,
just
and
made
maybe-
me look like I'm, you
No,
know.
I'm just teasing. If maybe you slip us your number.
Well, actually, yeah. This, I guess, on Randy's thing, just the doors alone would be like.
yeah,
$3,000.
let me see. I didn't even look
Yeah.
at the doors because the
And
doors are like
and the windows, yeah.
Well, okay, so that's sliding doors. That's a triple sliding
And you
door.
can go on and
A
buy
sing-
that for like a used one and paint it on. Come on, man. You know,
Oh,
I'm
she
not-
might be a
what?
little
So,
off,
Again,
but
I'm not saying she didn't get it for what she got it for. I'm saying to repeat that like on a mass scale would be
yeah.
tough.
Oh yeah, on mass scale.
Well,
yes.
hold on. She's
Not
got
even a
two
mass.
sliding doors. There are two
And
black
it's a lot of work to
sliding
outsource
doors.
stuff like cheaply too. It's
Anybody who
want
want
to
to look this up?
Work it is.
Two black sliding doors
They
are
don't have
going
to be
to
black. They can be pink. They could have been purple.
Okay, so yeah, okay, that would be even more expensive. So
can of
it
paint.
doesn't matter, even if you did white, it doesn't matter. So you're looking at $3,000 right there. Then you have these windows. You know what?
You know what, Irene? I'm going to go on and see how much stuff I can source to prove that you're right. This
Well,
week.
and then look at the frame that it's sitting on. That frame is not cheap. So I don't know where that
That-
frame came
that
from, but that's expensive.
little house
and
looks
then,
amazing.
And then
Look
look
at
at
it.
that deck.
I
That
know.
deck is more than $3,000 in lumber. Just in lumber, that deck.
Yeah, Irene, you did a nice house there. Let me
You,
tell
you
you.
did.
It
Maybe
is really
she
nice.
chopped down the trees and did them herself. Anyways,
It's really nice. that's
just
all I
saying,
know.
I'm saying children out there, be careful because Irene may mislead you to go and buy a container thinking that
Oh,
you know
Irene,
with your next
the gloves are off. If I were you,
with your
Irene.
next $4,000 you can finish it. And I'm here to tell you that's not happening. Do some more research. Irene's a special gifted person with a husband who can chop down trees and plane them and use them. It's a whole different world.
Irene, this is Randy's way of saying he loves you. And thanks for contributing to the
And
show.
wish I married you.
And you got 1 minute if you have anything to say to
Can't
the
do
people.
anything in 1 minute. Let's bug Irene.
What, Irene? Irene?
Well, thank you for sending
I'm
that
on
in.
your side,
It is
Irene.
a beautiful
Yeah, it's-
beautiful
It is. It's
container.
gorgeous.
But there's not any way that I would think that that's gonna cost $3,000. It costs that for the computer that you sent us the email on.
How do you know she's
Actually,
on a
it's
computer?
not true. That's not true.
How do you know? You don't know she's on a computer?
It's not true. Computers aren't that expensive.
No, but you don't even know if she's on one.
This guy here is $2,000.
Yeah, there
Huh?
you go.
This one here is $2,000 from our friends
Yeah,
at
but you're on
Costco.
the sunshine list, so.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Don't get them started, Jackie.
You know?
Apparently that's rich in these days.
Oh, goodness
Yeah.
gracious, yeah.
All right, people. Thanks for joining us again. As always, it's been your home, your money on reallyradio101.com. We love to see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
It's been fun.
Oh, Irene.
Irene.
Back in.
Thank you for listening to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts, Randy, Jackie, and Anthony, right here on Reality Radio 101.